I would like to introduce Jori Phillips and Strangely.
Thank you, Sheldon.
No worries.
Woo! And thank everybody at the Earth Club Factory / Guesthouse / wherever the heck we are. Hello! How's everybody doing? Oh, that's direct sunlight. That's too much. That's too much. I appreciate all of you coming out from your dark caves into direct sunlight for me on a Wednesday night. We've got a really fun show. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with some me, and then we're going to take a little intermission, and then we're going to hit you with some Strangely hard over and over and over, and you're going to love it. Yay. But right now, I think what I'd like to do is bring to the stage Strangely. Please meet my island. Got anything to say? Anything you want to share with the people?
Hi.
That's all. Strangely is a world traveler. How would you describe yourself? A bard?
Bard works.
Bard
works. I put way too many stats into dexterity and not enough into charisma, so there's a D&D joke for all three of you. It's going to be a long show.
I appreciate that. All right, let's hit it.
Okay.
You want to play us a little song, Strangely?
Oh yeah, the get them excited before.
Yeah, we're hyping you up. That's what this is.
I don't know how I'm opening for you now. Who is opening for me?
Well, we need a correct opening introduction, right? So I need to go backstage.
Right.
And then you need to introduce me, and then I come out.
Right.
That's how. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. Wednesday.
At the Tacoma Dome. That joke also works here.
Denman Island, are you ready? Okay, that's not excited enough. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna sing a little song for all of you. There's a very simple part in this song for all of you. There's a very subtle. When I was a kid, I always wanted to live in one of those magical places where everybody knew the same old folk songs that hey, and they all yell hey at the same time. Yeah. So the problem is that I grew up way down south. Most of you probably never heard of the town I grew up in. It's this little town called Bellingham. It's way south, like deep south. Tell you what. And so I could never have everybody sing along with the folk songs, so I devised a subtle signal to let each and every one of you know exactly when to yell. Hey! Hey, yes, it's an interactive show. We're all in the same fucking place, so you can I can see you and hear you and smell the delicious baked goods coming from in there. So, all right, so just watch for the signal.
Hey!
Oh boy. Good, but I can tell I'm back on the west coast of North America because everyone's like, hey. It's like a sharp, crisp hey. Like when you're like, come on, I don't care if the cable snaps. We need to go. Like that's the kind of hey I need from all. Okay, so here's a hey. 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 You know, they say there's a mountain. Ha ha. So high that you can't see the top. Hey! A little slow. There is a dance hall lost and gone where the music, it never stops. Hey! So grab your bag and go with me. It's a swell time for an adventure. Hey! You know there are things horizon. Okay, so it speeds up, which means it's gonna get harder. Hey! The only time an audience has had a harder time than this was last time I was on Mesquite. There are so less sheep here than on Mesquite. He's like, bleh, bleh. Oh, I got distracted because I always forget the lyrics because there's a costume change for this part. Did you see that costume change? It's seamless, like Fiance at the Super Bowl. Far away across the sea, where pirates behind their gold. Hey! Arr! It's subtle, it'd be subtle, I know! Arr! There'd be an island on a turtle's back, and a castle all covered in mold. Arr! So grab your bag and go with me, it's a swell time for an adventure. You know there are things you long to see beyond that far horizon. One of you came to rehearsal. I always have a joke in my show. I say, would you believe I'm single? So I was in Scotland a few months ago and I said that. This like absolutely beautiful Scottish woman stands up and goes, yes. I said, Warren knows me with high blood pressure, low blood pressure, or poor bladder control that what I'm about to do with my accordion is highly suggestive. Because I suggested it would be. Far away there's a forest where the trees are swarming with fish with a PH. Everyone who lives there in that place must be where the terrestrials live. Last chance! Grab your bag and go with me. It's a small time for an adventure. Hey! No, there are things you long to see beyond that. Horizon. So, thank you. Yes, there will be more of that later. Hopefully. Folks, I've traveled all over the world. I've been to some really fantastic, bizarre places. Like, I've been to many exotic lands like Finland, Scotland, Iceland, Vancouver Island. That's more impressive when I'm somewhere else, but I was doing a show, that same show on the Skeety, our MC of the circus I was with comes out and goes, "Hey everybody, we're so excited to be here." The guy's like, "Ah." And then she goes, "We came here on a boat." Dead silence. And finally this guy at the back of the audience goes, "It's an island, it's the only way to get here." Anyway, I've traveled all over the world and I've seen so much performance art. I've seen so many, musicians, magicians, stand-up comedians. And about 6 years ago, I was in Grass Valley, California.
Woo!
Anybody here from Grass Valley?
Woo!
Whoa, wow.
Dude.
That bustling global metropolis. And I was taking part of I always want to say Nugget Fringe, but I've heard it's pronounced Nouget. And I saw this performer perform, and I was just like, this is amazing. I want to travel the world and do shows with this performer because at least I know that like half the show will be good. Because I'm in it. So please welcome, look, I know many of you have never heard of this next performance. But I just really want to like spotlight this person. So
The sun's doing it.
please welcome Jori.
Thank you, strangely. Oh my gosh. I am not going to sing. You don't want that. I don't want that. I'm so happy that everybody's out here tonight. I'm so happy to see this small, exciting, large number of you for this population. You know, I live in a small town in California, you know, and whenever I tell people, oh, I'm from a small town in Canada, they really want to relate. You know, they're like, I'm from a small town too. I'm like, you're not from a small town, okay? You've got a Target and a Kmart. You've got 3 movie theaters. You know what I have where I'm from? We got the general store and a window. That's it. You can always tell, you know, these fake small towns, they're not really small towns because they have fancy names. When you have more than one of something, you have to put effort into the name. You know, you don't just call it Denman Road, right? You're like, oh, that's like East Upside Millberry Tree Lane next to Coconut Lane next to, you know what, I like it here, okay? We have 2 hills, right? We have 2 hills. One of them is attached to the ferry. It's called the Ferry Hill. That's it. One of them is bigger. It's the Big Hill. That's all I need. That's what I'm content with. It freaks me out, people in small towns. You know, they think they're in a small town. I always tell them, you think you're in a small town. You think you're in a small town, but what's that? That's a road. Where I come from, if we want to get out, we have to swim. I grew up on a rock in the middle of the ocean with a population of a relatively small high school. You can just go. I can never leave. I always get asked, people always ask me, how did you end up in America? You know, how did you end up in America? I'm cursed. I like to travel. You know, I love to travel. I always travel. Hi, person on a bike. Come back later if you want. Okay, or just keep biking, that's fine. Thought I made a friend there. I always travel cheap. And I don't want to travel cheap. Just to be clear, I'm very poor. I want to travel wealthy, right? I want to be walking around with an open bottle of champagne everywhere that I go. But apparently that is public intoxication and can result in a fine or imprisonment. Okay. I have a hard time when I travel. I have something called SAS. I made it up myself, thank you. Thank you for the sympathy. It's called sympathetic accent syndrome. Yes, I know you do, Wendy. I heard you in the line. You went through like 6 different ones. Sympathetic accent syndrome is where you just hear somebody's accent and you parrot it back to them without meaning to. It's a nightmare. I went to the South with some of my friends and we walked in the store and this lovely woman was there and she said, "Hi, where y'all from?" I walked right up to her. I said, "Well, we all just came down from Canada." She looked me dead in the eye. She said, "Y'all talk like that up there?" "No, ma'am. No, ma'am, we do not." I'm so sorry. I learned a lot traveling. I learned a lot, you know, going around because I always stay with my friends. And there's one thing that I've learned is that all of your friends will lie to your face about their toilets. Every single one of them will lead you to believe that there is nothing wrong with their toilet. And you will be in there, and you will take a shit, and you will push the plunger, and there will be no sound. No sound. So I got wise to it, you know, after about the 3rd time. So I ask people now, when I'm in their house, I'm like, "What's wrong with your toilet?" And they're always like, "What are you talking about? It's just a regular toilet." And I'm like, "Janet! I wasn't born yesterday. What's wrong with your toilet? And she's always like, well, I mean, now that you mention it, what you want to do, it's really simple. It's no big deal. You're going to hold it down for 29 seconds exactly. And then you're going to lift it back up 1, 2, 3 times. And at the top, hold it. Now at this point, you might be hearing it. And that's normal. That's okay. You just take the back off the toilet, put your hand in there, reach around, plunger up, down, up, down, up, down. It should flush by that point. Clap your hands, Hail Mary, and you're okay. It's just a normal toilet. That's what I like. You ever been waiting in somebody's shower, you know? You're like, I think the H and the C are upside down. Does that mean that the water is different? Or does that mean they just put it in upside down? And you're just standing there and the water is not getting any less cold. Over and over and over. It's a nightmare. There's nothing I like less. I like to take, instead, mini vacations, you know? Then I don't have to worry about these things, right? Like, I'm sure some of you guys have done this. You go into Courtney, right? And you, like, put on your cargo pants and you bring a camera and you're like, oh, look, it's a river. It's so brown. Oh, look, a field. 5th Street, where are the other 4? You know, like, have fun where you are, right? Why do that? We live pretty close to San Francisco, right? So any chance I get, I want to go to San Francisco and do tourist stuff. People where I'm from, they call it the city, right? And when they go to the city, they go to look at art. They go to eat at fancy restaurants. They go to see a play. When I go to the city, I want hot dogs on the pier. I want to ride the trolley. I want to ask people for directions. You know, I want to wind up in the Castro, have a gay experience. I want tourist things. The last time that I went to the city with my fiance, we parked our car in a public garage. We went away, we came back. Somebody stole my catalytic converter. Like I was a fucking tourist. I didn't even know what a catalytic converter did, okay? I do now. It's what stops you from sounding like an asshole. We're driving home from the parking lot, like we'd filed a police report, and the car is like, brrr, like my eyeballs are shaking. And I look out next to us at this light, and there's these dudes in a Dodge Charger. And just to be clear, I do not know if it was actually a Dodge Charger. I just assume everyone who is an asshole is in a Dodge Charger. And they pull up next to me and they look over and they're like, brr, brr. And I'm like, no, we've been robbed! We're victims! And they're like, brr, brr. And our car, meanwhile, is just big dicking them. You know, it's just like, brr. I'm talking to Cayman, my fiance. I'm like, can you make it stop? Because they're going to shoot us. We're out here walking around like we are cock of the block. And we are not. We're just regular people. I am a Canadian living in America. That makes me an immigrant. Some people are very surprised by that. We come in your color too! It's so shocking. Boom! Tonight on Fox News. Undercover immigrants, what to do when they look and sound just like you. Well, quite frankly, I don't know whether to relate or discriminate. I've just started telling everyone I meet, go back to where you came from. And it's working for me. I'm a job thief. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. You know, I'm just trying to live up to that extreme standard that is put on immigrants in that country. You know? Because you gotta go down there. You gotta be stealing jobs. You gotta be on welfare. You gotta be a criminal and still somehow not be the best that your country has to offer. I'm sorry, but if you're doing all of those things at the same time, you are the best, you know? I went down there for a job and then I just kept collecting them. I liked it so much. One of my first jobs that I had was as a flagger. You know, you guys know what a flagger is? They are everywhere right now. you guys have an outbreak of flaggers. I was a flagger, and I was really excited, because I'm like the little stop-go person that ruins your day because you can't spend 5 minutes with yourself. That's not on me, that's on you. You gotta love yourself before somebody else will love you. But I was excited. because I was gonna be a construction worker, right? Yeah, and you know what that means? I was gonna get to catcall people! Oh, I was so excited. I was working on all these lines. I had really good ones like, nice jugs. Yeah, or my personal favorite. I'm sorry, sir. This road is unsafe for you to come any farther, so I'm going to have to ask for you to turn around and walk right back the way that you came. I'm going to be sad to see you go, but I'm not going to mind watching you walk away. Yes. I was so ready. I was pumping myself up. You know what happened? They catcalled me. Me! The first person who drove by and was like, hey, baby, I was so shocked. I was like, you're beautiful! I didn't know how to handle it. I don't know why we do that in general as people. Like, I've never had an experience that I thought was so beautiful or interesting that I wanted to scream at it. You know what I mean? I'm not like eating a sandwich and I'm just like, oh, this pickle! Oh, crunch for me! Like, it's a sandwich. Eat it. It's fine now. It's fine. I'm self-employed. Yes. You can clap for that. I am resigned to it. I'm self-employed. This is what I do. I am a local comedian. Yes, it is very lucrative. But don't worry, I have a backup plan. People always ask me, what's your plan B? Visual artist. Oh, I'm ready. And the first thing that people always say, they say, you want to be an artist? What's your retirement plan? I've been thinking long and hard about this. There is a tried and true retirement plan for artists, and I got it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work really hard. My whole life. Everything in my existence is going to go into the pursuit of trying to interpret the world we live in and making a beautiful creation out of it. And it is going to drive me. It's going to break apart my relationships. My marriage will crumble. My children will estrange themselves from me. But it doesn't matter because I'm on the pursuit of art. I'm going to make zero money. And by the time I am old and frail, I'm going to have that moment and I'm going to do it. I'm going to finally make really good art. Something that people will remember me by. And just then, I will fall over backwards, penniless and dead in the gutter from some curable disease because I live in America and I don't have health care. And in that last moment, when the light of my eyes goes out and reflects the stars above, because I'm a woman, a man is going to step over me and go, that's really good. I should show people that. And that's it. That's my plan. Thank you. You're welcome to copy it if you like. It's very, very popular. I spend a lot of time at thrift stores, as you can tell from the general appearance and smell. I used to really like thrift stores, To me, it felt like it's the last stronghold of the Wild West. That was the one place you could show up. You could find an original copy of the Declaration of Independence for 45 cents. You could take it up to the counter and you could haggle it down a nickel. You could get out of there on top. But somebody, and I don't want to point any fingers, grandchildren, taught the elderly volunteers how to Google. And it's ruined. I was in there the other day and there was this beautiful coat, handmade from a patchwork quilt. And they were trying to charge what it's worth. Not on my watch. I've been thinking a lot about it. It feels like, to me, there's a difference in values, right? Between young people and old people. And old people value things like cut crystal and tea sets You're shaking your head. You're not old, Mom.
Thank you. You're back in the well.
You're back in the well. I did it. Old people value things like china figurines, things they can put in a hutch, right? And young people value things like healthcare and a living wage and body autonomy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't have that. It's too much. I just turned 30. I'm officially old. Yes. Thank you. Anybody else identify as old in the audience? Nobody. Yes. I am proud of you for admitting that, because age is a number. Old is a state of mind. You gotta own it. I turned 30 and I knew I was old immediately because my knees started hurting when they bent. And that's what they're supposed to do. That's their one job. All they're supposed to do is bend. Why are they hurting? Does it get easier? No! Oh my God, I forgot what happened after that. I just started thinking about my knees. There's something that does, worry me about actually becoming old. And it's something that I'm like, becoming elderly, becoming an elder, becoming an older member of the community. And I'm really worried that as I continue on my journey, I'm going to have prejudices that I didn't know I had and that nobody has told me about. Because, think about it. There have been people in your life that you've heard say some heinous things, and you're like, well, they're from a different generation. Let's maybe not address this right now. It'll work out, it's fine. And I'm really worried. I'm worried that's going to be me, right? So the way I see it, there's two options. There's two options in this life. The first option, I can just lead a full life, an open life, and I can meet every new experience with an open heart and love, I can try not to judge people. I can live like Jesus was supposed to have lived, do these things. Or I could pick my prejudice now, right? I pick a really, really good one that nobody else has, and then I'll be fine. And I've got it. It's sea lions. Fuck sea lions. Now you're probably thinking, because somebody out there has to be a flipper lover. You're probably thinking, Jori just had one bad experience with a sea lion. Now she's painting the whole group with the same brush. They're monsters. And they are not good neighbors. Oh, sea lions. The smell. It's a visceral smell. Picture this. You have a fridge, an outdoor fridge, and you fill it with fish, right? It's your fishing fridge. That's where you put your fish after you catch them. And sometime, maybe in the middle of a hot summer, that fridge goes out, and you don't notice. And you don't notice for 6 months. And you're walking past it, and you notice a little bubble, Like, oh, that's interesting. And you open it. That is what a sea lion smells like. And they live in the ocean. They can wash. They choose not to. And that is a fact. And the sound is like a chorus of harpies just cackling at you all night long, just arr, 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 arr. What is so funny? I tried, when I was a kid, I tried to understand. I tried to go down there, scream across the ocean, be like, hey, it's me, Jori. I'm trying to sleep. I have a math test tomorrow. Could you maybe keep it down? But they never do. All night long. Just arr, 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 arr. And they look at you with those beady brown eyes and those whiskered faces and their big old tusks. No, actually, sorry, those are walruses. Doesn't matter, they all look the same to me. All right, thank you, everybody. That is me, that is my set. So we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna get you more drinks, we're gonna get you more food, and then you're gonna hang around because Strangely is gonna rock your world in about 10 minutes. So sit your booties down, get them up there drunk. Thank you. Woo! Some more delight, some more whimsy. Maybe if you scream loud enough, some more sea lion noises. Yes, that's the Denman Island welcome that we promised. It is with the greatest honor that I'm going to bring to the stage. A friend of mine that I have had the pleasure of performing adjacent to for about 6 years now, but never with. One of the best performers that I know, one of the most captivating and entertaining people, the emperor, the empress, the king, the queen, the duchess of the fringe circuit. That's the one. Yeah, I knew if I just kept saying them, I'd get confirmation. It is your headliner of the evening, Strangely!
I love that I'm gonna have video of this show. And I'll be like, I was performing in Denman Island. It's like up in the, like, up, you know, in sort of the, up in the, up beyond here, up there, like past the San Juans, up in the Salish Sea somewhere. And they have a really weird custom. They don't clap, they don't cheer. They just make sea lion noises. I wrote a set list and I'm probably going to ignore it. Because this is sort of a choose your own adventure, highly interactive production. So, I haven't done this song in a long time because it's sort of a homesick song for me, but I've hardly done any shows for the last couple of years. I don't know, have all of you done your normal stuff lately? What's normal? Yeah, I know. That's a silly question to ask on Denman Island.
Especially if a man called Strangely.
I am strangely normal.
Normally strange.
Yes.
This is you know, what many of you don't know is usually for my shows I just get up on stage and just kind of go, and the audience provides their own entertainment. This is all right, so there's a part of this song for all of you. It's 3 words long, but you know, I'm still getting warmed up to you. You're still getting warmed up to me. So I'm going to tell you what the words are. So repeat after me. There are 3 words. The first word is take.
Take.
But like you mean it. Take.
Take.
Me.
Me.
Home.
Home.
That's it. It's super simple. And then if you do that on the downbeat, we'll really be doing something special. All right. So you can clap along like this. Well, the place that I come from, I'm sure it is the best. It's a wondrous, wild, and damp old place. It's called the Great Northwest. A lovely place to be. Party without fear. Here and here and here and here are breweries full of beer. So take me home, where the sun don't shine.
Take me home.
Back to the land of blackberry wine.
Take me home.
I'm sick of foreign lands.
Take me home.
Yes, back to where this all began. Once I went and cycled across a continent, but all the milk, it tasted weird and my money soon was spent. I longed to go back home where the tankards overflow, so I stole a plane the very next day and to Puget I did go. So
Take me home.
yes, where the sun don't shine.
Take me home.
It's better if you all do it. Back to the land of blackberry wine.
Take me home.
Come on now, I'm sick of foreign lands.
Take me home.
Yes, back back to where this all began. Though I must admit, in my travels far and wide, if I had to pick a second best place, it would be here by your side. When we're together, it's not half bad. Let's have another round. We'll toast the good times and the bad and make a joyful sound. Last chance!
Take me home.
Yes, where the sun don't shine. Come on now.
Take me home.
Good, back to the land of blackberry wine.
Take me
I grew up Baptist, so I really need you to yell for this. I'm sick of foreign lands. Last one!
Take me home.
Yes, back to where this all began. Oh my goodness, you all got there in the end, and you know, it's always, don't worry if you're super not into it. This will all be over in about 2.5 hours. Value for money. By the way, all the sing-alongs and audience participation bits that you do are optional. But so is me continuing to be awesome. I mean, you are one quiet non-participation away from an hour of Justin Bieber. That's right. Google that. It's a lot of things the United States has done, but that one is not our fault. So many of my fellow artists have they've come back from our mutually agreed upon global break. And everybody has a COVID song. I don't have a COVID song. I have the song that I wrote when I was like, this is a song I'm going to play once I can play live shows again. And so I wrote this for moments like this, where I'm in front of dozens of people, wearing a wool suit on a 27-degree day. What's that?
Crazy man.
Crazy man.
Yep.
So anyway, this song is for all of you, and let me know if the accordion is too much or the voice is too much, and I'll do it even more. It feels so good, words can't express. All of us back together. Though there's faces missing, and some are gone forever. I hold them in my heart, remembering laughter with the tears. That's why I've come back to rouse the sleepers. There's a cue for you coming up. With a mighty cheer. It's okay, you weren't ready for the cue. I'm gonna give you the cue again. It's alright. This is still the beginning of the show. I love how many of you were like, I'm gonna do a single sea lion noise, and that was like, okay. We'll arouse the sleepers with a mighty cheer. 'Cause it's good to be back. Good to be back. Let's resume the attack. Resume the attack. Get this thing on track. Thing on track. 'Cause it's good, 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 good. To be back. Folks, look, it's not about quality in this show, obviously. It's about volume. It's about excitement. It's been a couple of years. Some lost weight and some gained it. Though our lovin' ain't changed yet. I went and graduated uni at 33. Though my mom wonders why no job yet. I hear you took your dad's old jam band poster and nicely framed it. I guess we coped in different ways, and y'all can't be blamed yet. Still, it's good to be back. Let's resume the attack. Resume the attack. Get this thing on track. Yeah, that's it, 'cause it's good, good, good. Good, good, good to be back. Oh, that was great. I mean, for some they were the dark times. Social distanced even in line. Those million little connections that keep us from losing our minds. Gotta be honest, for my part it felt like an introvert's paradise. Finally my world slowed down. I could breathe for the first time in my life. Still, it's good to be back. You got it. Let's resume the attack. Resume the attack. Get this thing on track. Get this thing on track. 'Cause it's good, good, good. Good, good, good to be back. You know, we've spent such a while. Faces covered, can't see smiles. There's another cue coming up. And now we're back together. I think it's time for us to go wild. I can't help but wonder. And I hope this doesn't rile. Did we learn anything from our global sweatpants trial? Did it make us any kinder? All these massive stark reminder of the barriers we build here in the space with one another. Instead of building brighter, our momentum of past failure breaks our hearts and pulls them under, tears communities asunder. I have seen the joyful wonder of a brave and glorious tower that could bloom just like a flower if we only seize the hour. It is well within our power. Do I have to shout it louder? Push myself a little farther, be the first one off my hinder, lead the way out of that locked toward the future that we long for. We could do days that we find there better than the past were. Still, it's good to be back. Good to be back. Let's resume the attack. Resume the attack. Get this thing on track. Get this thing on track. 'Cause it's good, good, good. Good, good, good. I said it's good, good, good. Good, good, good. I said it's a good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. To be back. Howdy, y'all. I spent last December in North Carolina, and some of you were like, "Oh, yeah, it's alright, you know. It's weird. I caught COVID. Don't worry, I got better. Spoiler alert. Anyway, that's all. All that is to say that I met people in real life who say the word WHAT as HOOUT. What? tell you what. You know, that dog just come down off the porch and I said, come here. And I'll tell you what. He did. That's why I'm the one paying for coffee. Any of you have to do things over Zoom lately? One person is like, no. How do I turn off my camera? I don't want him to see. Can you all hear the banjolele? Dang. So I was on Zoom with the director of my hometown music festival. And he did a screen share to show us all a map that he had drawn of the festival, kind of a thing. And while the screen share was on, I saw something I was not meant to see. There was a tab open on his computer. And from that tab, I was able to ascertain a thing about him I would rather not know. I don't know if any of you have had a similar experience, but for any of you who have seen that tab, this is the song for you. There's a man here in our town, his festival brings us joy. He's got an open heart, the songs he writes are the real McCoy. But the other day on Zoom with him, my jaw dropped to the floor. 'Cause seeing his email inbox makes me want to run right out the door. He's got 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails. Leave that man alone! No wonder it's hard to get a hold of him. You're lost in a pile that big. Oh, I can't blame those other bands for trying, 'cause this is the sweetest gig. And I'd like to think he's gonna get back to each and every one. But whenever I stop to contemplate that chore, it doesn't sound like fun. He's got 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails. Leave that man alone. How is he still pretty nice? I'd have crumbled long ago. But whenever I think about those emails, I'm a puddle on the floor. And lest you think I exaggerate, this ain't hyperbole. I have stared into the abyss, my friends. His email stared back at me. 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails. Leave that man alone! 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails. So, I played this at my hometown music festival in front of several thousand of his closest friends. And afterwards, this little girl comes up to me. You know, little 7-year-old girl. And she goes, my dad has a lot of emails too. I'm like, oh, how many emails does your dad have? And she goes, 174. And I'm like, wow, 174. And she goes, no. 174,265. 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails, 27,000 unread emails. Leave that man alone. Oh, it's Robert at subduedstringbandjamboree.com. How are y'all doing? Are y'all doing all right? Yeah. Man, this audience has a memory. This is incredible. I could do callback jokes.
You can do one callback joke.
What? One callback joke? Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a one joke wonder up here.
Sorry, we're a one joke island.
I have to ask, it's always fun to go to small, sort of out of the way places, because I travel all over the world, and the more like slightly difficult the place is to get to, the more fun it is. And when you come to a small, tight-knit little community, they always have a place that as a group, they're like, oh yeah, them. So what is the place that Denman Island is like, oh yeah? Like okay, here's an example. Down in Washington State, we have the San Juan Islands. And everybody on the mainland is like, the San Juans. And then you go to the San Juans, and everyone in the San Juans is like, Orcas. And then everyone on Orcas is like, everybody who lives in town. You know, so what's the place for Denman? I'm just curious.
The Guesthouse.
What?
The Guesthouse.
The Guesthouse.
Hornby.
Hornby? Hornby. Okay. Hornby. Might be a little, it's like, I did that joke, I was kind of having that conversation with an audience in a little tiny town in Scotland called, I shouldn't tell you the name, called Glen Isla. I was like, what's the place that everyone in Glen Isla makes fun of? And this woman goes, Dundee! Which is sort of the slightly large city near them. And then the owner of the pub gets up and goes, I'm from Dundee. And you are absolutely right. I've traveled here today to tell you that lately I've had a lot of time to reflect. And I've thought about growing older and what my life would mean and what would happen next. And this song's about that. It's about regret. Because I've had a lot of time to dwell on regret. The things I'll never do, the things I'll never accomplish. Like correct pronunciation. If I live to be 100, I'll have seen a thing or three. Crossed 24 countries and sailed the ocean green. Traversed the driest deserts, climbed up mountain peaks. But in all those years I'm worried, cause there's one thing I'll never see. I'll never see a unicorn. Whoa, I'll never see a unicorn. Whoa, I'll never see a unicorn. Whoa, I'll never see a unicorn. Why even live? Did you know I got good grades? Turns out I kick ass at school. Go back in your 30s, learning then just rules. You can get the dish on Nero, find out why he was so cruel. But I just can't stop fixating and I feel like a fool. Cause I'll never ride a dinosaur. Oh, I'll never ride a dinosaur. Not like, okay, I know some of you are going to be like, an ostrich type, no. I'll never ride a dinosaur. Whoa, I'll never ride a dinosaur. Why? Why even live? I've entertained the rich and famous people from TV. Seen them order water. Elijah Wood paid $17.63 for a single bottle of water. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. One time Neil Patrick Harris saw me in my briefs. Actually, I was naked, but that means nothing to me. Cause I'll never meet Frida Kahlo. Whoa, I'll never meet Frida Kahlo. Whoa, I'll never meet Frida Kahlo. Whoa, I'll never meet Frida Kahlo. Why? Por qué? Why? I'll never get to court. Katharine Hepburn, or save the library of Alexandria while they burn. And I'll never get to kiss a merman on Mars. I don't know why that always hits some of you so hard. Hunter S. Thompson in a lonely dive bar. And I'll never get to see the back of my own head from across the street.
Don't worry about it.
Why? Why? Thank you. That's the second best heckle I've ever received at that moment. The only reason it's not the best is, you remember I mentioned that Scottish woman who said, I said, "Can you believe I'm single?" And she goes, "Yes." Same woman. That moment in my set later, she goes, "You're not missing much." Why should I try? I'll never win a Nobel Prize, never go to space. I'll never get to punch Elon Musk in the face. I'll never get Jeff Bezos to pay his fair share. So why should I care? 'Cause I get to be here with you on this day. I get to drink beer and play banjo-lele. Don't know what else there is for me to say, but I guess I'll stay, and that's okay. Whoa, that's okay. Whoa, that's okay. Whoa, that's okay. I guess I'll stay. Speaking of traveling all over the place, I was driving through a little valley in Central Oregon. Anybody been to Central Oregon? Yeah. So I was out. I drove down I-5, or the 5, as people in California call it. Jori didn't understand what I was saying. What do you call it up here? They call it something that's like the coastal highway. So much more poetic. I drove down the 5, and then I hung a right at a little town called Cottage Grove. Cottage Grove is where they filmed The General. Anybody seen that movie? No, none of you are 150 years old. It's fine. Buster Keaton's The General. It's the best action movie ever made. Go watch it. So I hung a right at Cottage Grove, and I headed up into the hills, and then I went over some mountains, and I went down into this valley, and I saw this giant billboard, hand-painted with a spray can. Bright red letters, 6 feet high, had a 4-letter word, started with the letter C. Driving out to the coast, gonna surf and drink and play. I passed a battered roadside sign painted along the way. It seems they've got a product, friend, you've gotta try today. Forget the typo, pal, you stopped, you ready? Wanna pay for that sweet cron? Oh yeah, that sweet cron. You know it's for sale in the wilds of Oregon. Just buy yourself a bushel and then be moving on. You'll be munching on that sweet cron. That's right, C-R-O-N, cron. This is not a mistake. They put it on at least 6 different signs. They also sell popcorn, cron on the cob, and cron bread. Only one of those products has marijuana in it. As I munch, I reflect that I've been this way before. Used to be a lady in these parts that I adored. Wait, who am I kidding? There's been several, that's for sure. Everyone abused so much it knocked me to the floor just like that. Sweet cron, oh yeah, that sweet cron. You know it's for sale in the wilds of Oregon. Well, I'll buy myself a bushel and then I'll be moving on. Just munching on that sweet cron. Thank you. That's all the reaction that deserves. Oh, what is it about Oregon that makes people oh so fine? Could it be the air they breathe, the grapes they press for wine? Well, actually, it's the maize they grow out in its perfect lines. I found that out the other day when I stopped and spent my dimes on that sweet cron. Oh yeah, that sweet cron. My friends, you know it's for sale in the wilds of Oregon. Just buy yourself a bushel and then be moving on, and you'll be munching on that sweet, enjoying that sweet. Gotta love that sweet, sweet. I better end this toot sweet. That's all I gotta say about that sweet cron. Sweet cron. I played that song in Eugene, Oregon, which is very near the sign. And I finished, and the audience clapped. It was dead silent. And this guy, who was just kind of like, goes, yeah. All right. Oh boy. I think I'm gonna give my I was gonna say my musical abilities a rest, but ability. What's more insulting, musical abilities or musical ability?
Second one.
The second one. Okay. Thanks, Jori.
I'm here for you.
It's a tradition in my friendship with Jori. This is my type 5. Here we go.
Yeah,
No.
I'm ready.
It's just I feel like this is the one place where I can tell this story and it'll be fun for everyone. It's a tradition in my friend. Don't worry, you're not late. I've been stalling. It's a tradition in my friendship with Jori that we roast each other super hard. So like, Jori got put in my phone the day we met as Jori comedian. But like I love Jori. I'm like so excited to get to share a stage with Jori, to get to hang out with Jori, and the only person I love more than Jori is Cayman.
Rude.
But if you know how wonderful Cayman is, you need to understand that if that's the only person I love more than Jori, Jori is pretty okay. So I was hanging out with a friend, and I'm like talking about Jori in the way that I talk about Jori when Jori's there, like we're roasting each other. And at some point my friend goes, "Why are you excited to go up and do this show?" Because I'm like, yeah, it's my friend Jori who like tells jokes and stuff, and I like sit through them, and then I play accordion. Which is funny to Jori. I don't know if some of you look pretty offended on Jori's behalf. Jori is the only one laughing right now, this is for an audience of one.
It always is when I'm here.
So then my friend confronts me and is like, "Why? This is not very nice to your friend Jori. Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, no, you see, I understand. Like, I really do value Jori. Jori's great. And then Jori calls me. Jori, comedian. Anyway, that's for you, Jori.
Thank you.
Did you catch? Don't eat it. It's all right. That's that.
It was mine.
Yeah. All right.
It's my moment.
Jori went like this, and I said, "Don't eat it." All over Cayman. It's all right. It makes sense that my compliments would end up sprayed all over Cayman. Just look at me. All right. I just got back from the Arctic.
Where are your arms hurt?
She's a comedian, you know.
Yeah, that was amazing. You were so good. You were so ready with that you were like 2 sentences early.
Somebody wants to be number 2.
If I was that early, someone would be disappointed with me. Odd reaction. So I was. Oh boy. The sea lions are loose again. I was up in the Arctic aboard a tall ship, like big, huge, square sails, like up, and I spent a lot of time up in the crow's nest, 60 feet up, and I was on the ship as the resident accordionist, playing sea shanties and things like that, and writing songs about the experience, and getting to meet these other artists who also went on the ship. So there were some artists, there were some scientists, there was this big, scary, tattooed, because sometimes we went to shore and there were people who had to like hold guns to like be ready to fight off the polar bears. There was this big, scary, tattooed Russian with a mohawk named Sergey. Sergey would smoke like this. You know, Sergey, typical Russian. He is not wearing gloves. He's 20 below. Smokes cigarette to keep хорошо. Это очень хорошо. Да, правда. Молодец.
How much more Russian do you know?
Чуть-чуть. Блин, я. So Sergey, like all Russians, is completely stereotypical, except, like all Russians, there is one thing that is different. So, large, tattooed, mohawk, smokes cigarettes upside down, kind of scary, carries a big gun, Buddhist. You know, it's so typical of, it's like a Russian thing, you know, like Russians, in Russia it's like, you will be Russian and then you may pick one. So it's like, my other favorite is, I have PhD in astrophysics, I am well versed in 2 kinds of hand-to-hand combat, I am colonel in submarine part of Russian Navy, and I now work as clown in circus. So Sergey, on the ship, was asked, Sergey, who is the hottest person on the ship? And he goes, me. While I was in the Arctic, I met all of these wild, amazing artists, and even our crew, the people who were in charge of keeping us safe from polar bears and sailing the ship, almost everybody like ended up sharing some sort of art or whatever. Sergey was really funny, obviously. Can't stop talking about him. Not single, but where is it? Anyway, not important. I got my first tattoo. Anyone here have a tattoo? Yeah. Wow. All right. 3 of you. Guess that's less exciting. Anyway, and I learned this. I learned this amazing new magic trick. Would you all like to see a magic trick?
Yes! Thank God!
If not, if you don't want to see a magic trick, go ahead and just close your eyes. Oh, all right. I'm dropping the boxes. Okay. I need a volunteer from the audience. Don't worry, no harm will come. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to. Oh, excellent. Right, no, just stay right there.
No.
What's your name?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yes.
All right, Rihanna. I'm holding a card.
Yes.
I want you to picture in your mind a card.
Okay.
Any card.
Okay.
Of all the playing cards in the deck. Yes or no, Rihanna? Is there any way I could know what card you're thinking of?
No.
All right. I'd like to demonstrate a skill I'm inordinately proud of. I can do a nice, clean riffle shuffle of a deck of cards without a table. Because I'm an itinerant performer, which is a fancy way of saying homeless. Stay in school. Stay in school. All right. Hang on. I'm sensing that someone in the audience is having a birthday.
Happy birthday to you!
I'm getting a letter. It's an S. Or maybe a Q. No, it's an S. And I'm getting an A. An A and an S. Two S's? No. S, A. Is that there a W? No, it's upside down. It's an M. Sam. Is there someone in the audience named Sam who's having a birthday today? Sam. It's fair. Okay, so Sam, it's very easy. All I need is one finger from you. So just reach out one finger, just tap the back of my hand. Just like that. It's very simple, right? So I'm going to spread these cards. I'm going to spread the cards out. You're just going to tap the back of one card. All right? I got distracted. I know your eyes are up there, but this is just...
I grew it myself.
So I'm always glad to hear that because sometimes I'm like, it's a beautiful beard. Yeah, Nicholas, grab me, hold me down, glued it on my All right, so just one finger, just tap the back of any of these cards. That one right there. Look at that card. Remember that? I'm going to hand you that card. Make sure it's the same card still.
It is.
All right, I'm going to hand you these cards. Go ahead and mix that card in with all the. All right, wait! Don't mix it in. I'm gonna close my eyes like this, and I want you to show the card to as many people as can see it. But don't say the card out loud, or this trick would have no plot. All right. Go ahead and mix it in with the rest. And I'm gonna uncover my eyes. And I'm coming back. Do you feel it has been adequately mixed in?
Sure.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to very carefully so that no one thinks there's any funny business. I'm just going to take two fingers, just like so, and I'm going to carry it in plain sight. Now, Sam, is there someone in this audience that you trust? Sounds like, which one are you right about?
I think you should go to Sandy Kennedy.
For me.
Alright, so I'm going to have you do the next part. I'm just going to hand these to you. You can hold them however you like. Excellent. Now, no funny bit. So, okay, Sam, it's your birthday. And on your birthday, you can answer any question however you want. So, how old did you turn today?
32.
32? You don't look a day over 32. So, very carefully. I'm sorry, remind me of her name one more time.
Sandy Kennedy. Sandy.
Sandy. Sandy, will you count out 32 cards onto my hand right here? Keeping in mind that this
2,
is
3, 4,
5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
I'll take that card. You can put the rest of them on top of it there. I'll take all of them. I need those back. I'm not a wealthy man.
Yeah, so Sandy's trustworthy for me, but not necessarily.
No.
Thank you, Sandy. All right. Wouldn't it be amazing if by that series of events so amazing, I myself am amazed, we arrived at one card only, in a loud, clear voice. Sam, will you say to the audience, your card, the
4 of diamonds.
Fortunately, I think you all remember I said while I was in the Arctic, I got my first tattoo.
Uh-oh.
Wouldn't it be amazing? If on my arm I had tattooed the 4 of diamonds. Now those of you sitting far away will have to take my word for it. But there is indeed on my arm a 4 of diamonds. Now some people want to lick the tip of their finger and rub it across this 4 of diamonds. Would anybody like to volunteer? No. All right, if you don't believe it, well, talk to me after the show. If you'd like to see my tattoo up close, come up and put some money in the tip jar. I also have CDs for sale and magic tricks and stuff. But the 4 of diamonds. Okay. I just have a couple more songs for all of you. You've been a fantastic audience, Denman. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've got 3 more songs for all of you. I hope that's all right. Yes. It's you know, the thing, you know, it was whatever it cost to get in here, and to leave it's only $35. So if you stay till the end of the show, it's a little bit more, but you know. All right. I have had the unbelievable privilege to get to perform in places where they don't speak English. And yet, well, okay, I should explain. You know, I travel to these places like you know, these exotic lands like Finland, Scotland, Ireland, Portland. And in some of these places, like in Finland, they speak English. I mean, they speak English gooder than I do, but they don't quite have the same idioms, the same turns of phrase, the same colloquialisms, the same je ne sais quoi. Pardon, ne parlez-vous français, mais français, merde. So when I'm performing in a place like this, they can't quite follow all the nonsense that's happening And so they're kind of sitting there going, I know these words, but not this border. This is strange. Then they come up to me after the show and they say things like, when you were up there with no pants on screaming at us, it was so funny. I had no idea what you were saying. And so I wrote this song to give all of you Pacific Northwest locals the same experience. I know these words, but not this order. This song is technically in English, and it is called Yogurt, for reasons which will never become apparent. The apple of my eye fell into a narrow van. The churches lost their homework ere the final round began. Did you order all the hot dogs for my gal Sadie? How is mountain and washing machine half baby?
That's my son Lon with my dog Cleo.
Hey!
Hi, Leah.
Wow! 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 This song is also my Muppets audition reel.
Who picked the number on my total? Hero wait for anyone who ain't before they grow 6 years before the past. Holding up the hairbrush, boomerangs will be the king of standing in the crush. Whoa!
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 Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Some of you have figured out that's the sing-along chorus. Bonus points. Dobre noć, mi nie zawód piwa, lo siento abuela mi cabana es una diva.
Ich habe ein Fledermaus und ein Schmetterling. You know it's time to change the channel when the frogs begin to sing.
Aristophanes.
Whoa!
Everybody! Whoa! You can do it. Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! I have to be careful that booty swing thing that I did. This is how I can tell I'm getting a little bit older. I threw my back out for the first time 2.5 years ago. Not lifting something heavy, not getting in a fight, going like this on stage at a show. I always struggle with how to end this song because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I love doing this stuff. And I finally realized that the best way to end it is to try to be memorable. Because they tell you at performing arts school, which I did not go to because I could not afford it, because I do this for a living, buy CDs. They tell you that if you can't be talented, at least be memorable. So I figured out a way to end this song that even if you're not enjoying it, I guarantee you, you will never, ever, ever forget it. And that's by singing the last verse in a voice you would not expect to hear coming out of a face that looks like mine. Get ready. Gonna get in character. If you're looking for a meaning, it's not supposed to. Don't worry, my friends, we'll not end up as glue. My father made the king, and all I know booze. I think I've I was hanging out with Jori, and I was like, I've been working on a cover of this song, and I'm like, it's not quite ready, but I think it would be fun if I played it for everyone on Denman. And Jori was like, do it. And I was like, I don't have it memorized yet. Will you hold the laptop for me? And Jori was like, oh yeah. So please welcome to the stage, Jori.
Hi.
All right, Jori. So I've got this all ready here. I think. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And if you could just sort of, do could you make it also do the
Scrolling?
Yeah, but it happened. Okay. I started learning this on a dare, so I hope all of you enjoy.
Hope y'all like dares.
This part's not still, it's just warm. It's not for you, it's for me. Yeah, this one goes out to, you'll know. Gonna take you home tonight. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gotta let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. I was just a skinny lad, I never knew good from bad, but I knew that before I left nursery. Left alone with Big Fat Bunny, she was such a naughty nutty. Big woman, you got a big toy out of me. This is sort of like what it's like to be a stand-up comedian, where you start the bit and you're like, well, I'm in it, I have to finish it now, and you're like, I don't know.
There's no way you're through.
I've been singing with my band, across the water, across the land. I've seen every blue-eyed floozy along the way, but that beauty and that star kind of stand after the while. Take me home to the dirty ladies every day. I said, oh, I want to take you home tonight. Oh, down beside that red light. Oh, you gotta let it all hang out. The bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. I'm so not getting invited back. Got mortgages and homes, I got stiffness in my bones. Ain't no beauty queens in this locality. I mean, like, queen is too low a word for you.
Thank you.
You're the king of Denman, Jori.
But I still got my pleasure, I still got my greatest treasure. He big woman, he made a big boy out of me. I said, oh, I wanna take you home tonight. I said, oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gotta let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make that rockin' world go round. Fat bottom girls, you make that rockin' world go round. Round, 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 round. Ooh, ooh.
Ad-lib with vocals.
Zip-bop, beep-bop, beep-a-da, beep-bop, ba-da-bop, zip-bop-ba-ba-bow. Beep-a-da-bop, bop, beep-bop, bop-a-da, zip-bop, zip-bop, zip-top, zap-a-da, beep-bop, beep-a-da, beep-bop, 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 bow. Wow, 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 wow.
Jori, everybody.
entertain me.
Just stay there. Just so I can show you what this looks like later. All right, folks, thank you so much for putting up with me. This has been so much fun. When I met Jori 6 years ago, Jori was doing all this material about this island. And Jori's like, I came from this island, and like they have this bulletin board, and there's this place called Gary's, and the food is really good, and all this kind of stuff. I was like, wow, that sounds really awesome. I want to go there someday. And I was like, and the whole time Jori's doing all this, Jori's like, I'm not going to tell you all what the name of the island is. I'm just going to, sort of keep it on the DL. And I was like, I have solved the puzzle. And so this is how I'm going to become friends with Jori. I'm going to go up to Jori and I'm going to be like, I know what island you're talking about. So I went up to Jori and I was like, oh man, it was a great set. Like, thank you so much. Blah, blah. I was like, so how was it growing up on Laskidi? And Jori was like, it's okay. I'm not from Laskidi. I'm from Denman. And I went, what's Denman? And Jori was like, someday we're gonna go to Denman and you're gonna do a show. And it's gonna be huge. There will be dozens of people there.
Living the dream.
And I have to be honest with all of you, this has exceeded my expectations because it's not the size of the crowd in the fight. It's the size of the Denman in the crowd. Yeah. So give yourselves a round of applause. So I have one last song for all of you. If you were hoping for a sea shanty from me, I have one for you.
Yeah.
Woo!
And at the end of this sea shanty, I'm gonna do the best circus trick I know. Oh, I should say, but before I do this last song, I should say to all of you, look, folks, if this show has exceeded your expectations and you would like to show a little more appreciation to Jori, to myself, I mean, ultimately, most of it's going to BC Ferries, but like, if you want to show some appreciation, it's really simple. What you do is you reach in your pocket and you take out your wallet and you take out $5 and you put your wallet in my kayak. Folks, this is Philip. This is my kayak. This is Philip. Philip the kayak. That was a joke for the dads in the house. What's up, daddies? He's gonna use it.
Ow, ow, ow! Woo! You got a wallet.
Woo! Look at that, I got a BC Ferries experience coming. People make fun of that line, but every once in a while.
Yeah.
Alright, so end of the show, I'm going to do a trick with my kayak. All of you will go absolutely bananas. And that'll be it. But genuinely, thank you so much for this. When I finally got the call that I was going to be going to the Arctic on this tall ship for a month, and I was going to sail around into these fjords and see polar bears and walruses and all that. A friend stopped me on the street and goes, "Those people on that ship are so lucky." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be so lucky. I'm going to get to go to this wild adventure, this place." And catalytic converter.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Callback.
Yeah.
All those people on that ship are going to be so lucky. And I said, oh, yeah, we're going to be so... She goes, no. I mean, you're lucky that you get to go, but they're all going to be lucky because they'll be on the ship with you. You must know so many sea shanties. And I went... Because at the time, I only knew one sea shanty. Now, I've since learned many more. I learned a lot for the trip, and at some point I will come back to Denman, preferably in the wintertime, and we'll do a cozy indoor sea shanty show.
Great. Sounds like fun.
That's right. Shanties, and I also know some anti-shanties, which are like... if you ask really nicely, maybe... Anyway, but this is the only sea shanty I knew prior to going on this expedition. So, I'm going to play it for all of you, and I hope you like it.
Put it on.
Take it out.
What would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Oh yeah, we're going here. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning.
Anybody have a favorite? What?
Put him in the hold of the captain's daughter. Anyone seen the captain's daughter? I think it's gonna be a slaughter early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the scrubber with the hosepipe on him. Put him in the scrubber with the hosepipe on him. Put him in the scrubber with the hosepipe on him early in the morning. Keel haul him, keel haul him, keel haul him, keel haul him early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the longboat and make him baler. Put him in the longboat and make him baler. Put him in the longboat and make him baler early in the morning. Way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody with me, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. Sip a gin and juice like you really don't wanna be a boss like I did last week. So come with me because talking cheap. I got Angela, Pamela, Santa, Rita with me. You know they get sweeter. Little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's what I need, a little bit of Tina's guaranteed, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary on my tongue, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of me makes you my man. Way hey, up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. You know that classic sea shanty, Mambo number 5. I'm so fired.
Give him the hair of the dog that bit him.
What's that?
Give him the hair of the dog that bit him.
Give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Early in the morning. Way hey, and up
she rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises early in the morning. That's what we do with a drunken sailor, that's what we do with a drunken sailor, that's what we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning. She rises, way hey, up she rises, way hey, up she rises early in the morning. There's a tip kayak, tippy kayak. For wallets, there's a jar for money. I also have CDs and card tricks for sale that come with download codes for some of the stories I've written. And I keep forgetting to mention it. I have a Patreon. I don't know if you all know what that is. It's like a subscriber special for NPR, but it's me. I recorded an audiobook of me reading Moby Dick, which is a surprisingly sweaty book. So, if you'd like to hear that interpretation, talk to me about that. I can tell you how to do it. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
That was one of the better ones I've done in a long time.
Thank you.
Wow, good handshake too. Thank you, that was fun. I've seen a lot. My husband's a lot of circus and really appreciate